Hello, and welcome to Question Coach, the podcast that awakens your leadership and supports your journey from expert to entrepreneur. I am Audrey Genron. I'm business coach and the creator of the E2E Incubator. The E2E Incubator is a program designed to help you make the leap to entrepreneurship with confidence, clarity, and sustainability. And sustainability, this is the topic of our final episode of our special mini-series. We already talked about professional identity, about strategy, about visibility, attractivity, and today we're diving into the fourth and last pillar of the E2E journey, sustainability. Because launching a business, this is exciting, but the real question is, will it last? Will it be something solid, stable, and aligned with your life? Or will it burn bright for a few months, only to collapse where the first turbulence hits? Today, I want to share with you the 5 pillars of sustainability. Think of them as the foundations, the instruments that keep your airplane in the air. Not just for one flight, but for a lifetime of long journeys. So buckle up, we're entering the cockpit. Without any surprise, the first pillar of sustainability is systems. Without systems, your business depends entirely on you. Every client, every invoice, every task is in your head or in a spreadsheet on Excel, and very quickly you become the bottleneck of your own growth. And I'm not even talking about your inbox and all these emails that you need to read. So systems are not here to make you rigid, they are here to set you free. Think about it. If you have a CRM system, it doesn't just store your contacts. It will allow you to track the entire journey of your clients from the first conversation to the contract and beyond. It will tell you when you have to not forget Bernadette, who you contacted 2 years ago, and suddenly you forgot that she would be so interested by this new product. Having a good CRM system is not just storage of contacts. It's much more than that, but it's a system that you need to implement just at the beginning. Automated invoicing. Everybody is talking about that nowadays because we have, and everybody has, to implement e-invoicing, electronic invoicing. It doesn't mean that you need to just chase payments, or if you wonder who is still owing you money, the system will tell you. This automated invoicing system, and I have one. I'm working with Safdesk here in Germany. I'm paying something like 15 euros a month. Okay. In France, you have something called Conto. You have many systems out there. Really great system that will help you to know exactly who already paid, who didn't, and automating already the invoicing, and also when you have to write back emails to remind people, maybe you didn't pay the last invoice. The system will tell you, the system will do it for you. Block as well your calendar, or have a project management software that prevents you from drowning in endless emails or meetings. But block some time in your calendar to make sure that you can think about what you're doing. Every week, every month, have time to yourself to work not only in your company, but on your company. What are you doing with your enterprise? What are you doing exactly with your business? Block some time to think about it, not just to execute, but also to decide on the best strategy. For that, you have to block time. You have to have a system in place to make sure that you not just deliver, but you are also strategizing. So let me give you a personal example. When I left the corporate world, I had years of experience with structured processes, some good, some less good. At first, I thought, finally, I can be free from all those corporate systems. But very quickly, in the first months, I realized without any structure, I was drowning. To give you an example, after 4, maybe 6 weeks, I implemented timesheets again. And I was thinking, finally free from timesheets. But without any timesheet, how am I supposed, as a coach, to invoice my clients when they are paying by the hour? Because at that time, I was paid by the hour, which is not anymore the case, but whatever. So I needed the structure to feel free, because otherwise I was just drowning into my calendar, my emails, and I was spending hours on proposal manually, tracking invoices, double booking meeting, etc., etc. So I had to rebuild my own system, smaller, lighter, but efficient, something to my image. So this is like a cockpit in the airplane. It works exactly the same way. Every button, every instrument has a function. If you want to flag long distances, you need to trust your instruments. You need to understand what they are showing. You need to put them in place to make sure that you can navigate with reliable information and not only your gut feeling. And the beauty is this: once your systems are in place, they give you clarity, they give you calm and time to focus on what really matters: growing your business and serving your clients. Nowadays, I'm working with Notion. You may know this system. I love it because it's really flexible. You can implement exactly the pages and the database as you want. It can be a little bit daunting at the beginning because it's a blank page when you start, but it has everything that I need. A CRM system. It has my to-do list. I have a view, a project of my budget. I have a view of the mission. I have a view of what I have executed so far this year, etc., etc. So this is really my dashboard for my enterprise. So the cockpit of my airplane. So systems are the first pillar of sustainability. The second pillar are human support systems. Human support, yes. No one builds a sustainable business entirely alone. Even if you are a solo entrepreneur, even the best pilot doesn't fly solo. They have a copilot, a cabin crew, air traffic control. In entrepreneurship, it's exactly the same. Your copilot might be a coach, a mentor, a sparring partner, someone who sees what you can't see when you are so focused on the controls. Cabin crew are your partners, your assistants, the freelancers who you're working with, the people who help to serve clients and keep things running smoothly. For instance, I'm working with a freelance now to reshape my website. My website is a little bit older now, so I need to reshape it to make it also not only in English, but also in French and in German. So I have somebody do that for me because I can't do it alone. It's taking me too much time, assuming that I could do it. It's taking me too much time, and really, I can't do it. So thank you, Stephen, for being on my corner here to do that for me. And also, as a human support system, you need a network. Your peers, your mastermind group, your professional community, people you can talk to when you need perspective, advice, or simply to feel less alone in the cockpit, because it can feel really alone, especially if you are a solo entrepreneur. Suddenly, you are alone in the cockpit. You were used to have a lot of people when you were in the corporate world. At first, it's kind of a relief because you can exactly do whatever you want to do, but it can feel a little bit alone. So it's very important to have a network, a mastermind, a community with you. I've seen it over and over with my clients. The moment they stop isolating themselves, the moment they start building this human support system, everything changes. They gain energy, they gain clarity, they feel less pressure. Even the more introvert of my clients, it's exactly the same for extrovert and introverts. We need human support system, different kind of human support system, but we all need this. One client of mine was a brilliant consultant. He tried to do everything alone. Because he was brilliant, he had a way to understand really everything. But finally, he joined a mastermind group and he said to me, Audrey, I didn't realize how much energy I was wasting by holding it all inside. Just hearing others share their struggles, their wins, that changed the way I show up in my business. Let me say that again. Sustainability, durability isn't just about tools. It's also about people. People who have your back when things get rough. People who celebrate with you when things go well. Because entrepreneurship is not a solo sport, it's a team effort, even if you are the captain. The third pillar of sustainability is preparing for growth without burning out. It's growth readiness. Here's a common mistake I see. Entrepreneurs wait until they are completely overwhelmed with work and clients and things to do before they delegate, before they structure, before they standardize, before they automate. By then, it's often too late. They're already exhausted, and growth feels like a burden instead of an opportunity. A sustainable entrepreneur thinks ahead. From day one, you can ask yourself, which parts of my work can I standardize? Maybe it's proposals, onboarding emails, or the way you deliver your core service. Which tasks can you put on autopilot? For example, email sequences or scheduling tools or recurring payments. Which activities can you delegate? Even something as simple as bookkeeping, designing slides, that can free hours of your time, if not even days. Think of your business as a house. If you know you might add a second floor one day, you don't wait until the house is shaking to reinforce your foundations. You build your foundations strongly from the start. So it's exactly the same with your business. I remember another client early this year. She grew her business faster than expected. That's good. But within a year, she was fully booked. And because she hasn't prepared, she ended up working nights, working weekends, burning out, not taking any holidays. So only after we worked on delegation and standardization, she found the peace she deserved. And she says, now my business feels lighter, even though I serve more clients. She said, lighter. And I love that. The growth has to feel light. Growth doesn't have to mean chaos. When you prepare early, growth will feel natural, organic. It will feel like your plane gently climbing instead of fighting gravity. The fourth pillar of sustainability is very often the most underestimated. The fourth pillar of sustainability is mindset. In the beginning, it's tempting to say yes to everything. Every client feels important. Every opportunity seems like it could be the one. But hear the truth, saying yes to everything means you're saying no to focus. And focus, without it, there is no sustainability possible. So durability, sustainability, it's about consistency. It's about choosing your direction, sticking to it, even when shiny distractions appear. This is why I love this book from Gary Keller. I told you about this book already in the summer. The One Thing. This book explains perfectly your ability to focus on one core priority multiplies your result. Because when you're chasing too many things, that will scatter your energy. I work with a client who was constantly saying yes. Yes to consulting project, yes to coaching, yes to partnership, to speaking gigs. He was exhausted and his revenue was unpredictable. When he clarified his positioning, when he clarified the focus, when he clarified what he wanted to offer to his clients, one clear offer, something really magical happened. His calendar became lighter. His energy came back and he started attracting, not attacking, he started attracting clients who really valued his work. Pilots know this well. You don't change your route every time you see a cloud. You follow your flight plan. The clouds will pass. Sustainability requires discipline, but also trust. You have to trust your direction. You have to trust in yourself. You have to have the courage to say no when it's necessary. You have to say no to distractions and to understand what is essential and what is a distraction. That's the fourth pillar of sustainability, the mindset of stability. And finally, the last pillar, the fifth pillar of sustainability, this is you. You are the engine of your business. And if you run out of energy, the whole business will stop. This is why the art of preservation is so crucial. Think like a long haul pilot. You cannot stay at full throttle the entire time. You need cycles of activity and cycles of recovery. You need to manage your energy the way an athlete does, because you cannot run a marathon like you will run for 100 meters. That's obvious, isn't it? A practical example is not only that you have to protect your sleep. It's important, it's a sacred resource, but not only you have to move your body, exercise, walk, stretch, not as an afterthought because your back hurts, but it's part of your business strategy. So my best co-pilot is probably my dog, because after a couple of hours, he will look at me saying, come on, we go outside, whatever the weather would be, but that's another topic. You have to create rituals of recovery. Maybe it's meditation, journaling, or simply unplugging your phone for an hour. Pay also attention to your nutrition, hydration, breathing. Okay, now neuroscience tells us without recovery, your brain loses clarity. Stress will narrow your vision. Fatigue makes you reactive instead of creative. I've seen too many people, too many entrepreneurs, and too many colleagues burn out because they thought hustle was the only way. But hustle without preservation, it's like a pilot trying to cross the Atlantic without checking the fuel tank. At some point, your engine will stop. So ask yourself, what keeps your tank full? Because sustainability isn't just about the business, it's about you, your energy, your joy, your capacity to lead for the long term. So here you are, the 5 pillars of sustainability. First, systems that will set you free. Human support system as a second. Then growth readiness, preparing for growth. The mindset of stability and saying no to distractions. Focus. And the fifth pillar is you. Make an art of your preservation systems and your rituals for recovery. So now that you know more about sustainability and how you can make your business sustainable, let's put it into practice. Practical exercise this week is inspection of your cockpit. Now it's time to put this into practice with this exercise I call inspect your cockpit. Imagine you're about to take off for a long haul flight. You wouldn't just close the door and hope for the best. You would check every instrument, every system, every crew member. So take 15 minutes today and ask yourself these 5 questions for the 5 pillars. First, the systems. What instruments are already in place? CRM, invoicing, calendar, automation. Which one are missing? Second, support, human support. Who is your copilot? Who is your cabin crew? Who handles the radio with the outside world? Third, managing growth. What can you delegate? What can you standardize? What could you put on autopilot before you run into turbulence? Fourth, mindset. What distraction do you need to say no to this month or this week? What would help you stay on course? And 5, your energy. What rituals keep your fuel tank full? What do you need to recover between long-haul flight? Do this checkup regularly. I do that every 3 months. Like a pilot, don't take off without inspecting your cockpit. It's exactly the same for your business. Make sure that you have system, support, the growth mindset, and energy. It's important to make sure that you can fly the long haul and not only the next 100 meters. And here the message I want to leave you with today. The E2 Incubator, this program, it's not just about helping you launch. It's about helping you last. You won't see that on the Instagram and the LinkedIn programs everybody is talking about because it's not sexy. It's about systems, it's about discipline, it's about mindset, it's about making sure that you have rituals. It's not something very Instagrammable, is it? So everybody is talking about the next month for the 10K, but making sure that you keep the 10K every month for the next year, that's something completely different. Because doing that without burning out, this is something that no one is talking about. No one but us in the E2E incubator. So maybe I'm exaggerating, but I can tell you there are not many people who are talking about sustainability in entrepreneurship. Because to crack this code, you have to have system and discipline and the right mindset. So it's about making sure your business is a short-lived experiment, but a sustainable, aligned, and resilient company. It's about giving you the right systems, the right human support, the right mindset, the energy to go the distance. If you're ready to build a business that is not just a business for 3 months, but something sustainable, I invite you to join the next cohort of the E2E Incubator. You'll find all the detail in the description of this episode. So thank you for following this mini-series on the E2E methodology that I developed to help you going from your expert position, your job in the corporates, to the entrepreneurship. This is something I did 4 years ago, and I have more and more people doing that for the past few years. So this methodology is something exclusively done by Bibest and by me, Audrey Jaron. So the E2E Incubator is starting now in October, but if you're listening to this episode and you got inspired and you're thinking, oh, it's too late, it's never too late. Contact me, send me a DM in LinkedIn or send me a message in Instagram. Don't worry, we'll find something that will work for you. And I hope that this episode and all them before are giving you clarity, giving you strength, the tools to move from expert to entrepreneur with confidence, with alignment. And if you want more, don't hesitate and contact me. And voila, that's all for today. Thank you so much for following me. Next week, we will continue with season 2 of Question Coach. And if you want to know what this will be about, don't forget to follow me on LinkedIn or Instagram or on your podcasting platform. Thank you so much and see you next week. Bye-bye.